or that perpetual charity. It is my future aspiration to develop a system of Waqf in the United States of America, or endowments, trusts, foundations, if you will, charitable foundations, but those that are based on not a system of tabarru'at, or a system of charitable giving only, but something that we have a solid investment and that the charity grows by itself. I try to assess where we are as American Muslims, what it is that we need to be doing, what direction we need to be going into. And obviously there's things ideologically, but from a financial standpoint, I think that for generations now, or for decades I can say, we've been surviving on a donor-based system. And so a lot of the masajid are supported by the charity of the people who attend the masjid. Living in the Muslim world, you see that there's a different way to do that, and you also study the history of Islam, and you see that primarily the masajid were supported by endowments. Somebody started a waqf, whether it was purchasing commercial property or residential properties, and then taking the benefits of those properties and using them to cover the expenses of the masjid. But I also want to expand that concept and create endowments for ilm, for educational projects. And that's something that, as you know, a lot of brothers in their latter years in the Jamia, when they're about to graduate, they're always thinking, what's next? Where do I go? And it's not to say that they couldn't go somewhere and be an imam of a masjid and make a reasonable salary. But a lot of times that's not even dignified, because a lot of the masajid have been founded by people who have not acculturated to America. And so their concept of an imam is somebody that's at the masjid 5 times a day, 7 days a week, just a total workhorse. But then on top of that, and on top of caring for the Muslims who come to the masjid and their children and the people who have problems, whether it's marital issues or otherwise, they are also required to do outreach and interfaith and. So he's working 80 to 100 hours a week, and the salary is not anywhere near what he could get even working a minimum wage job somewhere. And that's a shame. And so it is my idea that we take these endowments that that I hope to be a part of establishing, and use them to fund educational initiatives, to fund research, to pay for the salaries of teachers who are working at the Islamic schools who are underpaid, and so on and so forth. That's in terms of ilmun yuntafa'u bih, or knowledge that people benefit from. And that would be the typical answer that most people would expect from somebody graduating from the Islamic University of Medina.